Alright, in this video we are going to be making a Deepwoken build inspired by none other than Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Thorfinn at the surface level is your usual silent, stoic type. He overpowers all of his opponents with speed, dexterity, incredible dodging capabilities, and dual wielding daggers. On occasion he throws knives and jumps incredible heights, but that really gives you a good idea of what kind of character he is. He also lives in the Icelandic region, so he's always fitted in very heavy, thick coats that are padded down in fur. To help replicate Thorfinn's appearance, I went for a Sandrunner scarf and a Sandrunner wrap. That way I could get the tan look as well as the hood of his top. Underneath, I went for any black armor set. It didn't really matter, to me at least, because underneath we don't really see too much of what Thorfinn is wearing. Then I went for Con boots because I figured that I needed some sort of brown boots to sort of match with Thorfinn's typical appearance. Sadly, in Deepwoken, there are not a lot of very fur padded armor sets that look like Thorfinn's. I tried to look around, but a lot of them had capes or just didn't look the part, or I would have to dye them, and I did not feel like going to layer 2 to go get the dye. The stats intended for this build were 90 strength, 40 fortitude, 65 agility, 25 charisma, and 100 light weapon. I also went 6 vitality and 6 proficiency, along with the boons Maverick and Autodidact, and the flaws being obvious and vegetarian. I didn't take into account the flaws when making the build. If I were to do them again, I would definitely get rid of obvious, because being stealthy sort of plays into Thorfinn's character a little bit, but that was overlooked when I was making the character. As far as abilities go, I ended up using the Jet Striker Oath because I felt it represented Thorfinn's speed and dexterity. His ability to jump super high heights, climb super high walls, dash around his opponents. I felt that the Jet Striker Oath was the only oath that really made sense. There was no real other option, and it really just made perfect sense, to be honest. And for mantras, I sort of resorted to agility and light weapon based mantras and a couple of strength mantras, because Thorfinn does actually show like ungodly amounts of strength. So I used rapid slashes, revenge, and the agility dash sort of as gap closers. You can put either wind gems or waywards on either of these or on any of these mantras, because well, you wouldn't put a wayward on a rapid slash, but for revenge, you could put a wayward. You could put a wind dash on rapid slash or revenge, sort of just to get the most out of that speed boost. As for the normal dash, I just used it as a gap closer to keep people on their toes, not really let them know what my next move was. And adrenaline surge or adrenaline rush, whatever it's called, I would use that mantra to sort of just give myself boosted damage because of certain talents I had that would give me boosted damage with a speed boost, which is also why I went the Jet Striker Oath. As for damage mantras, I did end up taking strong left and rapid punches, but I did not use rapid punches because I felt that Thorfinn wasn't really a rapid punch kind of guy. He did punch people from time to time, so that's why I just stuck with strong left, and I did go 90 strength so I could max out this mantra as well as get a 1,000,000-ton piercer. That is pretty much the entire build, so here are all the talents. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. The build was actually a decent amount of fun to make. I'd never done a Jet Striker Oath build before. I don't go light weapon very often, and hell, I don't even go attunementless very often. So I did actually enjoy making this build as it was pretty unique. Then again, this is sort of an area I'm not very good at. Playing like this, it doesn't suit my playstyle, so you can be sure that I wasn't the greatest at using the build, but but the build itself is actually pretty decent. If you did want to make this a little bit more viable of a build, or if you do want to go about it a little bit of an easier way, I wouldn't really run 1,000,010 Piercer. I would probably take that strength, put it in fortitude, but I figured for Thorfinn that didn't make much sense. I wanted to have my max level mantras, but yeah, so my main damage output would end up being my weapon, which is why I'm always spamming my crit. I did the best I could with the weapons that I had. The game doesn't really let me use weapons that are super accurate. I was going to use a Champion's Dagger, but Champion's Dagger isn't very good, so I ended up just going with an Alloyed Tanto, figuring that it just looks like a normal knife almost, so I went for that. And then for parrying dagger, there definitely is not a lot of choices, so I did the best I could with that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.